So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of the Trading Every Player rebuild series, and today it's going to be the Orlando Magic. The Magic are a team that are kind of exceeding expectations. Now, I don't want to discredit them. I really don't want to do that, but they're sitting at the 4 seed right now in the Eastern Conference. 21-15 is the record, and Paolo Banchero is really kind of emerging as that star, kind of superstar level almost, pretty much guaranteed to be an all-star this year. And yeah, we're going to have none of that today. So I'm sure many of you know how these videos work. Before year one kicks off, I trade away the entire roster, obviously have no say in any of the trades. At no point in time may any of the players who are currently on the Magic come back, and the end goal is to win a championship. So, you know, this is a series that I do probably 2-3 times a week. I'm sure many of you follow along, and if you do, I really do appreciate it, because it is definitely one of my favorites. So this one's going to be fun today. And you all know what I'm going to say right now. As always, if you guys have any other video ideas, make sure to let me know down below in the comment section. I got a couple of requests to do the Magic, and that's why we are here doing them today. I also want to give a big thank you to you guys, as I proposed in last Trading Every Player rebuild. I was kind of asking, you guys want me to continue, you know, doing at the start of the season, making the trades, doing start today. Kind of came to the conclusion that the majority of the answers were saying, do the start of the season. You know, start today doesn't really make a lot of sense. And honestly, I agree. So that's what we're going to do. We'll be starting at the beginning of the season for the rest and the remainder of these videos. And yeah, this one is going to be fun today. So let's get into it. It's definitely going to hurt me a little bit to trade away a lot of the young talent on this team. As I mentioned, I think this Magic team, if I don't want to be disrespectful, but I think they are maybe overachieving a little bit. You know, if this team finishes out the season as a top 4 seed, I would say that's an overachievement. You are well ahead of where you probably should be, but this team is super young and they're super fun, and I'm not really looking forward to trading away a lot of these guys. So let's just start out. Best player on the team, Paolo Banchero, former #1 overall pick. As I mentioned in the opening of this video, is playing at a star, superstar, whatever you want to call it, level this year. Going to be an all-star, and I'm really excited about what his future looks like in Orlando. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see that today. So he's 4.5 stars in trade value, and if I swear to God, if I somehow end up with this trade from the Chicago Bulls, I will lose my fucking mind. So we're going to go ahead, close the old eyes here, and of course not have any say whatsoever in what trade we're actually going to take. We're going to stop right about now. And it is Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler for Paolo Banchero and Mo Wagner. Now, not my favorite deal in the world, but it's one that I can live with. It could have been a lot worse, considering we're going to get 2 new starters here in Markkanen and Kessler. So Jalen Brunson would have been fun. I would not have loved this deal, and this would have sucked. So you know what? Honestly, I got to just kind of take what I'm getting here, because this deal that Bam Adebayo or LaMelo Ball would have been super fun as well. But this deal I'm getting here from the Utah Jazz is not too bad. So Banchero, Wagner going over to Utah, Markkanen, Kessler coming back here to Orlando. So that is kind of the biggest trade that we're going to make, if you will. Franz Wagner is another guy I don't really want to trade. He's playing very well this season as well. I'm actually going to combine him in a deal with Wendell Carter Jr. just to bump the salary a little bit, get a few more options on the table. So continue to scroll with the eyes closed. 3, 2, and 1. We end up with Austin Reeves and Jalen Hood-Schifino. Not my favorite trade. I'm not going to spend time going through all of them, but yeah, that's for obvious reasons not my favorite deal in the world. I don't mean to discredit Austin Reeves, but yeah, I don't love it. Cole Anthony will be next, and something that's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass is a lot of these guys are young, meaning they're obviously on their rookie scale contracts, meaning I'm not going to have as many options. I think we had 10 trade offers here. We're scrolling left this time, and we'll stop right now. Giving me Buddy Hield and Obi Toppin. Okay. Not my favorite trade is what it is. Okay, we continue on with these here. We have a lot of the kind of groundwork, if you will, out of the way. We're going to do Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Isaac. Jalen Suggs is playing elite basketball this season. He's a dude I would love to have on my Celtics, but unfortunately he's a key piece for them. Continue to scroll until right about now, and that gives us Jakob Poeltl and Grady Dick from the Toronto Raptors. I know Poeltl, actually just saw Shams' report today. It would be yesterday when you guys were watching this. The Poeltl's out for the foreseeable future. Good thing we don't play with injuries on. And then Grady Dick is a guy I feel like hasn't even really played for Toronto. I mean, maybe there's a little potential there in 2K at least, and probably in real life as well, but I don't know, man. We'll see. All right, continuing on here, Goga is going to be next. We'll do him and Gary Harris. Gary Harris is actually somebody I probably should have put in with one of the younger, you know, maybe a little bit more promising pieces that was on a rookie scale contract, but it is what it is. So we'll stop right here, and we're actually going to go one to the right this time, giving us Landry Shamet and DeLon Wright, or it would have been Matisse Thybulle, Moses Brown. Not really either of which are my favorite trades, but I can live with it. So Anthony Black's what, 6th overall? Yes, he was 6th overall this past year, getting some playing time, which is always good. Him and Joe Ingles, who was actually a decent free agent signing, I would say. I think I saw that Anthony Black was 3.5 stars, which is of course always nice. We'll stop right about now, and we're actually going to go one to the left this time, giving me Colin Sexton and Simone Fontecchio, or it would have been Mitchell Robinson. Honestly, I don't really need another center though, so Sexton, albeit maybe not my favorite trade in the world, it's definitely one I can live with. So moving along kind of to the bottom of this roster here, I think Chuma Okeke and Jet Howard are probably going to be two of my next pieces to move. I think Caleb Houston's actually the last one. I don't do the guys on two-way deals. So we're just going to go ahead and actually do Okeke, and I'll do Houston because I think Howard's actually going to have a little bit more value than both those guys. So continue to scroll here, and we'll stop right about now. And that gives me Paul Reed and Daniil House Jr. from the Philadelphia 76ers. Then if I am seeing this correctly, I believe that the last player I should have to move here is going to be Jet Howard, who was a lottery pick, correct? He was the 11th overall pick. Wow. Okay, 15 trade offers here. Let's see which one we're going to accept. Our final trade is going to come with the Chicago Bulls, Alex Caruso and Javon Carter. Now, I know I technically can't trade players that I already acquired for year one, but I didn't include DeLon Wright in the deal. The CPU just happened to put him in there. So I'm not going to scroll through and find one that's a one-for-one swap. I'm going to take Alex Caruso. If you don't like it, sue me. What are you going to do about it? Okay, let's get into this roster right now. There's clearly going to have to be some position kind of shuffling, if you will. There's a lot of depth at a lot of these spots, and I'm definitely going to have to figure out some things. So hang on a second. I actually really didn't have to move around many positions. It was literally just Paul Reed and moving from the backup 5 to the backup 4 because I know we were lacking a little bit of depth there. Now, I know Paul Reed maybe not a traditional power forward in 2024, but it's going to have to do for 1 year, and I think it won't be the end of the world. So I had some decisions to make in terms of the starting 5. Austin Reeves listed as a point guard. Did the Lakers run him at the 1 a lot? I don't know. I thought he was more of a 2, but 2K has him as a 1. I'm going to start him there. Again, it's not too big of a deal. I'm going to decide to play Colin Sexton over Alex Caruso. Now, the game is suggesting I play Alex Caruso, but just off the standpoint, maybe there's a little bit more potential there with the younger guy in Sexton. I'm going to go with him in the starting 5. If we're competing for a championship, or maybe I'm looking for a lineup to close out a game, Caruso's probably my guy over Sexton. But here right now in a year that probably not crazy expectations, I'm going to go ahead and start Sexton. Marketing clearly here at the 3. I'm starting Obi Toppin at the 4. Walker Kessler, our starting center, even though the game wants Pirtle to be so. I think Kessler has just a tad more potential. So the bench is actually really good. Caruso will be my 6th man, playing 22 minutes a night. Jakob Pirtle follows him. You got Buddy Hield here as our backup 3. Landry Shamet, our backup point guard, and then Paul Reed, as I mentioned, moved him from the backup 5 to the backup 4. So other than that, guys like Simone Fontecchio not getting minutes, Javon Carter, Daniil House, really, I mean, these are nice pieces to have in a rotation. Unfortunately, they're just not going to crack ours because we have pretty good depth. And then along with that, I did send Grady Dick down to the G League. Hopefully he can develop nicely. So something I am curious about is I don't think, I had a suspicion that the Magic hadn't made any major moves. They had given away any like serious draft capital. And honestly, doesn't appear so. It seems like they actually have a few first-round picks from teams that are not Orlando. So I'm very excited about that. But this is going to be our rotation and our lineup for year 1. Again, really no major surprises in it. And I'll be interested to see how this team can do. I mean, I think we can be anywhere from like a 3 seed, maybe to even the play-in. So I have no idea what's going to happen, but I do know that I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. Year 1 has officially come to an end. 50 wins is how we finish. I can live with that. I mean, I don't want to say that's like an overachievement. I definitely don't think it's an underachievement. If I had to take a guess, I think it's a little bit of an overachievement, but I can live with it. Nikola Jokic, 3rd career MVP, is 0.1 assists off of a triple-double. Insane. Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year. Terry Rozier, Scary Terry, 6th man of the year. I definitely would expect him to be moved to a contender. This dude's playing really good basketball right now. Victor Wembanyama wins DPOY in his first season in the league. Jalen Johnson, most improved. Talk about another dude who's playing some really good hoops right now. Donovan Mitchell, Clutch Player of the Year. Mike Malone does win Coach of the Year over there in Denver. So I'm assuming it's pretty safe to say we're a playoff team. We are the 4 seed here. We do have the Celtics in round 1, which is definitely not my favorite matchup, but nonetheless, we are ready for the challenge, and it's going to be a very fun one, to say the least. So let's check out the numbers on the year. Larry Marketing, about 24, 8 points, or 8 rebounds, excuse me. I'll take that. Sexton was our second leading scorer. Reeves, Toppin, Hield, Kessler. Okay, I like it. I really do. I think this team has a fun makeup of a team that probably won't have much playoff success, but quite honestly, it was a fun year. So, as I mentioned, us and the Celtics here in round 1. Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, maybe on paper the best starting five in the league. I don't know whether you want to call it that or not, but I do expect us to probably lose this series, and it's not going very well, and we do get swept. So, I mean, I have no idea how the Celtics are a 5 seed, honestly. I wouldn't really expect them much lower than, like, maybe 3. Looks like it's going to be a Clippers and a Sixers finals. Imagine Harden against his old team. Paul George, finals MVP. Okay. Offseason number 1, LeBron calls it a career. Udonis Haslem. Al Horford, Thad Young, Gay, Love. Whoa, okay. All right, staff retirements, Hall of Fame inductees, jersey retirements, draft lottery. Don't think we have any other teams picked this year's. Oh my God, the Thunder are going to get the top 2 picks. At least they're projected to do so. That's insane. No, I'm not seeing anything for us here in Orlando, so that's cool. Staff signing, Jamal Mosley has actually pretty good ratings, and I'm going to keep him. I think he did a pretty good job with the team that we had assembled on paper, especially considering we put together an entirely new roster before the first game even kicked off. So tipped off, excuse me. Wrong sport. Okay, up to the draft. The 23rd overall selection in round 1, number 24 in round 2. I could have a trade. I want to make a big splash. I think that's kind of obvious with what you guys know from me at this point, and Darius Garland would definitely be that. So here's my offer on paper anyways. Jakob Poeltl, who was our backup center last year, is an elite backup center option in terms of backup centers. Ultimately, for a backup, I'm always going to go ahead and trade them away for a starter. That's what we're doing here. Alex Caruso is a guy who's 30, 31 years old with the 2K regression system. We all know how it goes. All likelihood it'll be about a 77, 78 to start next year. Not make or break. Javon Carter was out of the rotation, then our first round pick this year, which is nothing more in terms of value than a pack of peanuts to me. So let's make, well, okay. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. This game, Cleveland, for some reason, doesn't really value Darius Garland like at a super elite level, which has always kind of confused me. It's relatively easy to actually trade for him, but it just means Reeves goes to the 2, maybe a little bit more of his natural position anyways. Maybe I'm a little bit nervous about this backcourt defense. Here in 2K probably won't matter as much. So, meaning we don't have our first round pick anymore, I'll probably just move our second for future second. Thank you very much, Philly. I mean, again, very, very small move in the grand scheme of things. Team player options. Walker Kessler will be coming back. He's probably my franchise center. Obi Toppin is definitely somebody I'd like to maybe move to the bench at some point. Just can be a really solid rotation piece. As of now, he is our starter. That's definitely somewhere we maybe look for an upgrade. So, looking at this free agent class, it's not great. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. I think we all kind of know that. In terms of who I maybe have interest in signing, a guy like Paul George has 16 offers right now, and he's also somebody that regresses really heavily. So I'm a little nervous. We could probably clear up the money if we really wanted to make it happen, but ultimately between the regression, his price tag, it's just not really worth it for me. So we'll probably try to find a starting power forward a different way. What way is that? I have no fucking idea. So let's go work on that. My gut reaction when I was thinking about trading for any sort of forward in any way, shape, or form is that we need somebody who's really good defensively. Mikal Bridges is obviously that. In a hypothetical trade that we bring him in, I just move Markin into the 4. Would not be the end of the world. So, Landry Shamet, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Grady Dick are all going to be in this trade. I'm assuming I'm going to have to give up more. I've already accepted that fact. But this is a deal for a couple of reasons. Shamet was probably not going to be here next year anyways. Jalen Hood-Schifino and Grady Dick are nice young pieces. Unfortunately, I don't really have time today to let them develop. So, Mikal Bridges, how about it? You want to be a member of the Orlando Magic? And then if you look at this, I maybe could give up Paul Reed, but I would rather not, to be honest with you. So how about my first next year? We have some draft assets that I can give you and not really sweat about it, and we get that deal done, which just means marketing's going to go to the 4. Really not the end of the world. The dude's 7 feet tall, let's be honest. And yeah, I mean, at this point, oh, didn't mean to do center. I think at this point when we're looking at this team, it's just about filling out the bench. I mean, we have a really nice 6th man here, and it's going to be Colin Sexton. Other than that, I could play Paul Reed at the backup 5, the backup 4, whatever it may turn into actually being. And then clearly we are going to bring back Obi Toppin as well. So, and Buddy Hield, I actually wouldn't mind bringing him back. We might see a little bit of regression out of Buddy, but that's not the end of the world for me. So we're not going to renounce Obi Toppin. He's somebody I definitely would like to keep. So we have our backup 3, we have our backup 4, now we have our backup 5, honestly, with Paul Reed. So very excited about the possibilities with this team. We really just need to find ourselves a backup point guard. Why this game keeps auto-renouncing an 80 whatever overall power forward is beyond me. But wow, we actually have money. Hang on a damn minute. We have a little bit more capital than I thought we would. Now, Spencer Dinwiddie could be fun. Is this going to mean I have to renounce Obi Toppin, though? It probably does, unfortunately. No, it doesn't. Holy shit. Okay, is he going to let me bring him back? No, it's not. Which means I'm just going to match whatever he gets. But, wow, this actually got really kind of worked out for us really, really well, really, really quickly. So, yeah, you know what? We're just going to move Reed back to the backup 5. I think we're in a really, really good spot right now. So let's go ahead. I'm going to wait on the signing wherever he may go of Obi Toppin. We will go ahead and match that. I will see you guys. Oh my god, this game keeps auto-renouncing. It's so fucking annoying. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. I don't want to get carried away, but could this be a championship team? I think this roster is filled out really nicely. Typically in these rebuilds, it goes one of two ways. Either I have some really good depth and not a lot of star power in the starting 5, or I have really good starting 5 and not a lot of depth. Today, it feels like we have both, and it's only year 2. Could this be a championship team? Time will tell. It's going to be Darius Garland, Austin Reeves here in our backcourt again. As I mentioned when I first made the Garland trade, I'm a little bit nervous about the defense in this backcourt, but that's why we went out, made the trade for Mikal Bridges. So hopefully you can kind of smooth things out there. You have Markkanen, who moves from the 3 to the 4, and then Walker Kessler remains our starting center. The bench unit is elite. It's very, very good. Colin Sexton will be our 6th man after being our starting shooting guard last year. Obi Toppin will be our backup 4 after being our starting 4. Spencer Dinwiddie was a free agent signing as our backup point guard. We have Buddy Hield, who moved. Actually, no, he was on the bench last year anyways. And then Paul Reed is our backup center. So I'm very excited about this team. I think it's going to be a really quality team, and hopefully we have a very fun season, which turns into some postseason success. I will see you guys at the end of year 2. 58-24 is how we wrap up year 2 here in Orlando. I believe we won, what, 50 games last year, so that's an 8-win improvement, and it's definitely something I will take for year 2. So Nikola Jokic, I believe that would be a 4th career MVP at this point. Good God. Nikola Topic is your Rookie of the Year. Scary Terry, 6th man of the year once again. Good God. Please move the man to a contending team. Victor Wembanyama, a back-to-back Depoy. Dyson Daniels mode. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't... Look, I have no problem. I'm not just looking at the points per game, obviously. I mean, he made a jump of 2.5 in assists. He went up nearly 2 rebounds a game. But you can't go from 48% from the field to 41 and 40% from 3 to 27 and be most improved. It just doesn't work. Luka Doncic, Clutch Player of the Year. Jamal Mosley does win a Coach of the Year for us, which is very, very nice. And hopefully this time we can have the first round of the playoffs. We are the 1 seed. We'll be facing a play-in team. Here's a look at the Western Conference. It was nice to see we did have the best record in all of basketball. So let's check out the scoring per game. It was Darius Garland, Lauri Markkanen, Mikal Bridges, Austin Reeves, Sexton, Kessler, Toppin, Dinwiddie, Hield, and then Mr. Reed. Rebounds a game was Kessler, and assists was Garland. All right, who's going to be? Us in fuck. God damn it. Look, I'm not trying to run scared from a playing team, but they're still the Milwaukee Bucks. They're still Giannis and Dame, and now Clint Capella is somehow here. So this is not a playing team, right? This is probably a team that should be in the playoffs. So I don't want to lose again in round 1, but it looks like we could be well on our way to doing that, right? I don't know. Like, I know that we've had really, really shitty first-round matchups for back-to-back seasons, but I don't really think that that's too much of an excuse, right? Like, that's kind of shitty. So, decisions will be made. It is going to be a Bucks and a... Nope. It is going to be a Knicks and a Thunder final, except that Giannis, who lost in 5 games, is your Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and the Knicks going to win it all. Julius fucking Randle. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we got bent over, right, in that first round, and it's not really acceptable. And again, I know I just touched on it. It's not an excuse, but it's annoying. That's what it fucking is. It's annoying. Okay, who do we have here in the draft? Oh, we don't have anything. Holy shit, I saw a lot of Spurs logos. Thunder get the #1 overall pick. That's good. They were just in the finals. And, yeah, Jamal Mosley, I think it's a fireable offense. You know, I don't want to keep, talking about the same fucking thing, but you can't lose in the first round after a 58-win season. I don't care who you're playing. It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to get a new head coach. And I think that guy is going to be Mike Stauffer, hopefully, if he accepts, and he does. So perfect ratings there. Let's head up to the draft. Just a new guy come in, new system, better ratings. It's a good move. We have no first-round picks, so it looks like it's going to be one of those videos where we don't draft anybody, and honestly, I'm kind of fine with it. I don't really think anybody that we were going to draft anyways. God, this fucking game makes everything so goddamn complicated. Okay, let's head up to team player options right now, because now it comes into, like, personnel. Where do we want to make an upgrade? Do we want to make an upgrade, and what is that upgrade going to be? I think there will probably be at least one. Maybe if I had saved a little bit of money, I could have gone out and got a big, like, marquee free agent. Shit, Obi Toppin's a free agent. I doubt the game's going to let me bring back. Yeah, I forgot to mention that last year. He accepted a 1-year deal from somebody, and I matched it, obviously. But, yeah, now he's a free agent, and I have actually no idea if the game's going to let me bring him back. And it is. Gotta love 2K and their very, very flawed logic. Okay, so we have all 10 guys from the rotation back from last year. Now comes the question, am I making an upgrade? And if I am, where that's going to be? So hang with me. We're going to try to work on a trade here with the New Orleans Pelicans and pick up Brandon Ingram. Now, I know what you're probably saying. You have a small forward in Mikal Bridges. Why are you trading for another one? I'm just going to move Bridges to the 2. I don't really think it's going to be the end of the world. So I look at this in a couple different senses. Yes, Austin Reeves is a fine player for us. There's nothing wrong with him. Played well. I'm just looking for an upgrade. I need the overall upgrade. Clearly, Brandon Ingram's a better player than Austin Reeves. Buddy Hield's a guy I don't necessarily want to lose, but he's somebody who's aging. We know that overall is going to go down. So how about we make a deal? How about I give you whatever fucking draft picks you want? I have 4 of them that I can trade. Now, that's really kind of all I have, but so I got to be somewhat careful, but I'd be happy to make a deal here. Holy shit. Please take the 4. I mean, come on. Thank you. Okay. I know it's a hefty price to pay, but it's the final season. I need the firepower. Bridges overall is going to take a 1 overall hit. That's not, again, too big of a deal. So looking at this team and kind of what we have right now, there's a couple different avenues I can go. I can stick with a 10-man rotation, maybe have Brandon Ingram not have a backup, maybe in some different rotations, some lineups, Bridges is the backup, maybe some we have Sexton playing the point guard. I have no idea. Maybe Toppin plays some backup 3. It really doesn't matter. It really depends what the options are here. And Corey Kispert is a fine, nice option for me. So he's going to be the guy I go with. Welcome to the team. So we are all set. We made another big trade, adding Brandon Ingram. This team is still really, really good. I just think it's even actually a little bit better now. So do I want to find, I mean, is there an upgrade out there for Paul Reed? I mean, if there is, I'll take it. If not, I'm just going to run with him. He's not necessarily a great player, but he's an all right. So that is what it is. Okay, I will see you guys at the start of year 3. Last year, we had the best record in the league and couldn't get out of the first round as a favorite for the 2nd year in a row. Or maybe not a favorite, but a higher seed, because first year we were definitely not a favorite. But you understand what I'm saying. Changes had to be made, and changes definitely were. We obviously went ahead and hired a new head coach. We went ahead and made a major trade, adding Brandon Ingram, and really didn't lose too much depth in the process. So I'm very excited about what this year could be. I'm hoping it's a championship season. We're going to find out right about now. Darius Garland remains our starting point guard. Mikal Bridges is overall isn't as high as maybe it could be at the 3, but clearly provides some defense here at the 2, and he is still a really good player. Ingram, our new starting small forward, still have Markkanen at the 4 and Kessler at the 5. The bench units now, or well, still will be led by Colin Sexton, Obi Toppin behind him. We have Spencer Dinwiddie still going strong, Corey Kispert, new addition, and Paul Reed, our backup center. So I'm nervous. I am, because there's a lot of pressure right now, and I think this team definitely has the talent, but to be fair, we had the talent last year, and it just didn't work. So here goes nothing, man. I'll see you guys at the end of the final regular season. 61-21. That's how we wrap up the 3rd and final regular season here in Orlando. It's a great regular season. Same thing the past 2 seasons, and it hasn't gone well in the playoffs. So hopefully the times are a change. Nikola Jokic, is that 5 MVPs? God damn. Floyd Badunga, I think it's, wait, didn't even, I thought they spelled his first name differently before. I don't know. Isn't it Flory? I don't know. Stephon Cassell, 6th man of the year. Victor Wembanyama, 3rd straight. Depoy, Matas Buzelos. I don't know why it says Matt. These fucking draft classes spell all these names wrong. Steph Curry, clutch player of the year at what, age 38? Yeah, that's insane. Mike Stauffer does win coach of the year. So, I mean, I know we won a coach of the year last year with Jamal Mosley and then went on to fire him. And we didn't even have the best record. Holy shit. God damn, those Cavs are going to be a pain in the ass. Okay, let's dive into it. Garland, Ingram, Markkanen are kind of our big 3 in terms of scoring. Bridges, Sexton, Toppin, Kessler. It's all well and fun, and I don't give a fuck. Okay, who do we have in round 1? Please don't be an elite team. 76ers, they're good. You still have Maxey and Embiid. Paul George, Andre Drummond and Joel Embiid in the same front court would be a horrible fit. We are up 3-0, which is nice. So we finally win a playoff series. Not only do we win, we sweep. And now there was an upset in round 1, so we have the 6-seeded Toronto Raptors are here, and we're ready to battle. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I tried to make a trade for Scotty Barnes. It did not happen, and we ended up with Brandon Ingram, which is not a bad, second option, but just want to let you guys know. We're up 3-1 right now, and we are on to the Eastern Conference Finals, and we are taking on the Cavaliers, who, albeit, are still really good. We did go ahead and take away Darius Garland, which maybe helps us a little bit, but, 290 overall is a really good player in Jared Allen. For whatever reason, Mitchell Robinson is here. They're still going to be a pain in my side. So can we get it done? Can we get by them? Okay. Okay. Okay, don't blow this. I'm not doing this today, 2K. I'm not fucking doing it. Thank you. We're on to the NBA Finals, taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder and Chet Holmgren, a team that is going to be a royal pain in the ass. I mean, we just look at this. It's relatively the same thing every time I face the Thunder. And, yeah, I mean, can we pull it off? Can we get it done? So we're down 2-0 quickly. We do win Game 3 and Game 4. Decisive Game 5. We get it done. We're heading back to Oklahoma City. Can we win on their home floor and eliminate them here in 6 games in the NBA Finals? Looks like it's going to be a close one. Maybe we're kind of escaping with it here a little bit. And I think we're going to get this done. I think we are. I'll see you guys in there. We have a nice cushion right now. I think if my math's correct, that's an 18-point lead, which of course is nice. I'm not saying it's completely over, but it's definitely putting us in a really good spot right now. So I guess we can kind of just chit-chat right now, I guess, about the Orlando Magic. I know clearly their roster isn't actually here, but, it's always fun just to kind of shoot the shit with some of these teams. So, kind of as, oh, that's a foul. Kind of as I was, going over when we kind of opened this video, You know, the Magic to me are a team that has really good depth. I think them and a team like the Indiana Pacers, just really good depth that is still relatively young. Like, you know, you look at a team like Orlando, who I seriously do believe is ahead of schedule. You know, some people might say to me, well, they're really not ahead of schedule. Like, this is what Magic fans were expecting, and maybe you were. And all kudos to you, all credit to you. I don't think this team is going to be, or should have been, a top 3 or top 4 seed in the East. I really don't. I don't think they're a top 4 team talent-wise. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, and I'll be happy to be wrong about that. But, you know, they're good. They're fun. They're going to be a pain in the ass for years. Now, the one thing they could run into, which I think a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder are definitely going to run into, is do you almost get to the point where you have too much young talent? Now, clearly the Magic don't have as many draft picks as the Oklahoma City Thunder do. They're the ones that are going to have to make the really tough decisions. That's a hard foul. The really tough decisions, but you can't pay everybody, right? You know, you're going to pay Paolo Banchero. You're probably going to pay Franz Wagner. I highly doubt they don't pay him. Markelle Fultz is on a relatively nice deal right now in the grand scheme of things with NBA contracts. Cole Anthony, I'm pretty sure, is going to be due for some money. You're definitely going to pay Jalen Suggs. He's been really good. So what avenue are you going to go? Oh, that's a bad shot. To ensure that you don't lose any of this. And that's what I'm going to be really interested to see, because if Orlando really wants to go for it this year, there's a lot of different options that they can take. There really are. You can trade for an established player. Maybe you go out and I don't really know. I would say Lauri Markkanen, who we traded for today, but I don't know how Markkanen would fit in with Banchero and Franz Wagner. I just think that's a logjam, honestly, with the forwards there. So I will be very interested. It's going to be very, very fun. I am anxiously awaiting trade season. We had the big trade between Toronto and New York to kind of kick us off, and now we're just kind of waiting at this point. So going to be fun. It's always one of my favorite times of the year. We'll clearly get into some trade videos once those come, trade rumors, whatever it may be. I am looking forward to it. So very good job in terms of the rebuild that they are doing. I mean, I think back just to, what was it, about 4 years ago? I mean, you had Nikola Vucevic, and you were trying to, like, build around him. You were, like, an 8 seed every year that seemingly just never had any sort of outlook on the future. And they done a really good job rebuilding. They really have. So all credit to Orlando. They're going to be a very fun team to watch for many, many years, as I'm sure many other young teams are. So I'm excited about this. Holy hell, Walker Kessler. Let's end it on a high note. We overcome our first round demons and make it all the way to the finals and win it all, and Darius Garland is your finals MVP. Holy shit, that was stressful, because sometimes I can just tell the way a rebuild's going to go. You know, I have some really heartbreaking playoff losses in the first 2 years, and we still make a major move and nothing happens. You can just kind of feel it. But today wasn't one of those days. We overcame our obstacles, and we resulted in a championship. So I am very, very happy right now. I hope you guys are happy. This was a fun rebuild, and I definitely had a good time doing it. So, you know, as always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comments section. We're always looking for new ideas, challenges, series, whatever they may be. You guys let me know down below, because, yeah, you guys are very, very creative. I've definitely learned that. So that is it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.